If I asked 100 hockey players how they choose their stick, they'd probably tell me different things. It would be, it's because their friend uses it. Or maybe it's because an international uses it. Or maybe simply, it's just because it looks good. Sometimes players are playing with hockey sticks that don't suit how they play. But in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to explain how to choose the perfect hockey stick for your game. Welcome to Total Hockey Labs. This isn't about selling you the most expensive stick in the store. This is about helping you understand what matters most. Whether you're buying your first hockey stick or your 10th, by the end of this video, you'll be able to choose the perfect stick for your hockey game. So let's start with the biggest myth in hockey. The more expensive the stick, the better the stick can be, isn't always the case. Take these two for example. This Grays one is £350. This Bite stick is £35. Both are brilliant sticks, but for very different players. The £350 stick is for a player that's at the top of their game, elite, international, someone who's playing top-end hockey. This £35 stick is for someone who's starting out, developing their skills and wanting to enjoy the game of hockey. It all comes down to your skill level, your position, your budget, and of course how often you're playing hockey. These two players are probably playing the best hockey of their life, but at very different stages. Like I said, £350 is for elite level hockey players, £35 is someone starting their journey. A lot of people think that 95 and 100% carbon sticks is the way to get better at hockey. But this isn't the case. In fact, if you're developing your hockey skills, the more carbon in a hockey stick can actually make it harder to control the ball. So there's levels of what carbon points you should be playing with depending on how you're playing hockey. So for example, this is a 5% carbon stick. It is designed for players who are just starting off in their hockey journey. This is nice and soft, it's easy to control the ball, there's nothing fancy, it is just purely for developing hockey skills. We move on to a 35% carbon hockey stick, and these are designed for players that are the next step up. You're probably talking going into secondary school or those higher players in primary level. This is designed to hit the ball a bit harder, but without the loss of ball control. We would always recommend going up gradually in stages to make sure that your ball control isn't lost when you're playing hockey. We then move up again to a 75% carbon hockey stick. This is probably what most people should be playing hockey with. There's plenty of power when you're hitting the ball, but that 25 to 30% of fiberglass will keep this stick nice and soft. So when you're receiving the ball, doing hockey skills, it'll all feel very, very nice. You can still get loads of power when you hit it thanks to that 70 to 75% carbon, but it's a much more manageable stick. And players of any age can use this, but preferably someone playing club level hockey or first 11 hockey. Move on to the top end. Full carbon or 95% carbon. These are incredibly stiff sticks. Like I said before, carbon stiffens the stick up, so you don't want to use this stick if you're still developing hockey skills. It will feel really tough. You have to cushion the ball a lot more. You have to do all those sorts of things to make sure ball control and skill isn't lost when you're playing with this. But again, if you work your way up gradually, this is something that can be easily used. Loads of carbon, big hits designed for elite players and internationals. Just remember, carbon and hockey sticks isn't the end of the world. We use this analogy all the time in the shop is, if you pass your driving test, you congratulate yourself, you go out, you buy a Ferrari, you can still only do 45 miles an hour in it. So what's the point in spending money on a stick that you can't use properly? Another thing to consider when you're buying a hockey stick is the bow or the shape of the hockey stick. This determines how easily or not easy you can get the ball in the air when you're playing hockey. For example, this is a standard bow. Most of the time this is for junior sticks and those entry-level adult sticks. As you can see, it's a really straight stick. It's perfect for developing hockey skills. Hitting the ball, slapping, pushing, all the passes that you need, but it's not quite as straight as older sticks would be that you can still lift the ball when they're developing those essential 3D hockey skills. So we've had the standard bow and we move up to a pro bow. Now, this means the bend is slightly bigger or it's slightly further down towards the head of the stick. This will not impact when you hit the ball in lifting or anything silly like that. As you can see, it's quite a gradual bend up the stick. It's designed for doing a bit of everything. It's a great all-rounder stick. So with the bend in and around this area in a much more gradual fashion. It means all those basic skills will still come into play, but it makes it even easier to get the ball in the air, should you need to do so. Again, we move up from the pro bow up into a low bow hockey stick. These are now getting a bit more specialized towards getting the ball in the air far easier. As you can see, the bend is much bigger with this stick. It's much more down towards the head of the stick, designed for getting the ball in the air. Now, if you're a 3D player or a player that likes to do a bit of lifting over sticks or flicking the ball at the goal, this kind of shape is for you. However, if you're someone that likes to hit the ball and keep it flat on the ground all the time, this might be an issue for you. Because of how the stick is held, you will have to hit the ball in a slightly different fashion when you go to hit it to keep it flat. But it's very easy to get used to. A few training sessions and I'll be all in the bag. Again, we move up in the bends. We've had a low bow. This is now what we call an extreme low bow hockey stick. This is even more specialized. So this is for someone who likes to drag flick, throw aerials and do a lot of 3D skills. If that's flicking at the net, lifting over hockey sticks, anything like this. You can see if I do this, the bend's really pronounced. It's as low as the bow can physically be that's legal on a hockey stick. And this is designed purely for getting the ball in the air. It's great, you'll have great feeling when you do it, and it makes it very easy. Again, a bit like a low bow, if it's something in your game that you like to hit the ball and keep it flat, this bend might not be for you. But on the other hand, if you like throwing aerials, stand as a defender, and throwing it as far as you can, this stick could be for you. And now we go to the most extreme of the hockey stick shapes. This is a concave or a scooped face hockey stick. And this is the most specialized a hockey stick can physically be. Again, you can see it's as bendy as it can be with the bow point right down at the head. It's designed for getting the ball in the air. It's designed for drag flickers. You can see in this one, it's got a nice white face as well, which keeps that ball a bit more disguised when you're doing it. A scoop face has a concave that goes down the shaft and even into the head, all designed for getting drag flicks as more powerful and the most accurate as physically possible. This is something that hockey players will use if this is your desired skill. It's very specialized. Yes, you can do everything else in it, but it takes a lot more adjustment. A bit like with carbon, bends are very important to hockey sticks. It's all very important to get the right bend to suit your game. It used to be forwards had really bendy sticks and defenders had really flat sticks to hit the ball, but that doesn't matter anymore. The game is involved and hockey sticks have evolved too. You want to make sure you get the right shape to suit your game. And hockey stick buying is very difficult. It all comes down to the budget as well. Like I said at the start, there's a vast difference between a £350 hockey stick and a £35 hockey stick. We want to make sure a hockey stick can suit your budget. So if you have £100, we can point you in the right direction. A £100 hockey stick, we want to get you the best value for money in that area. Whether or not you walk in and you're a £50 budget or even a £250 budget, we want to make sure to get the perfect stick for you. And that all comes down to the amount of carbon in the stick, the bow, and how you play hockey. We have a couple of quick fire questions. Questions that we get all the time in our stores is, it's my first time playing hockey. Well, if it's your first time playing hockey, we'd rather point you in the direction of that lower end entry level sticks. Nice and soft, easy to develop your skills, perfect for you. I'm a 13-year-old player that plays for club and school, well then maybe moving up to the likes of a 30% carbon stick might be spot on for you. Bit more power, but still plenty of touch and feel. Or we get all the time, I'm a defender, so that means I need a heavy stick. This is a bit wrong. That's what it used to be. Defenders had heavy sticks to hit the ball nice and hard, but because of carbon now, you can get away with a nice light stick. Also, if you're an aerial specialist, well, there's plenty of sticks. If we go back to that bow section, all about the bow of the stick. The lower the bow towards the head of the stick, the easier it is to get the ball in the air. So someone who loves throwing aerials, a low bow, extreme low bow hockey stick will be perfect for you. And then of course, we've got someone who comes in and asks, I want to learn how to drag flick, or drag flick is my speciality. Well, like we said before, get yourself a scooped face or a concave face hockey stick, perfect for developing drag flicking ability. If that's increasing power, increasing accuracy, and putting the fear of God into defenders. So in summary, guys, when you're buying a hockey stick, don't buy it because an international uses it. Don't buy it because your friend uses it. Buy it because it suits your game. And using the points that I've explained in the video, you should be able to find the perfect hockey stick to suit your game and your style of hockey. Thank you very much for watching, guys, but before you go, leave in the comments your position, your age, and how often you're playing hockey stick, plus your budget. And I will personally recommend a hockey stick for you to try and look at. But thank you very much, guys, and next week we'll be talking about everything to do with carbon and hockey sticks, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the lab.
Losing control.